Afternoon all. I was going to start in seconding that, like to Simon and Sam and the team for putting this together. Thanks to them, and also to the other speakers through today and yesterday. So a hand for Andy and Will and the guys. So these guys talk at pro brewing conferences all over the UK and beyond. So you really are hearing from the guys who know what they're talking about, and we all listen to them. So yeah, I got an email from Simon a month or so ago. So emailed me and Ross saying, "Oh, could one of you guys do the keynote?" Neither of us replied for a while. I got nudged by text about a week ago, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I can still do that." But yeah, one email saying, "Just talk about Northern Monk and why brewing's great," and then say, "Second one coming through. Why does it matter?" So we've gone with a bit of both. Couldn't think of a name, so being the born and bred Yorkshireman that I am, just gone with a ain't brewing brilliant. Thought a bit of, and there's a little bit of Team Monk embarrassment in the middle there as well, a bit of everything. So, but yeah, I can start with a bit of background on myself and Northern Monk, because it wouldn't be far-fetched to state that Northern Monk has been built in home brewing and it runs like a vein through the company. Personally, I came in the wrong order. In the years before I got involved with Russell and Northern Monk, I was studying over in the University of Huddersfield, a very useful music degree. I'd been successfully weaned off carling by a couple of friends, to the point that I at least got excited when the Wetherspoons Ale Festival came around every 6 months. Unlike most students, I was absolutely desperate for some additional beer money within 2 weeks of term starting. So I went hunting for a bar job. I found a little corner pub with a decent reputation for cask beer, but from the outside it looked like not a lot. And that was the Grove. And the Grove was pretty deceptive. Inside, they had a bottle list, which was literally a world guide to everything that beer could ever be. And that's before you started on the draft lines and the whiskey selection. They even had they had a bottle of beer from Mongolia. I was my mind was blown, I was smitten, and before long, I was disillusioned with academic life and trying to work out how to make a career in beer, but not really having a clue about what to do about it. So it wasn't until a very drunken New Year's Eve, whilst we were fighting with the wax on a third bottle of McKenna Black that evening, that the landlord came up with this idea to basically try and turn me into the British McKenna and send me travelling around the UK helping out all these breweries. So as soon as I finished uni, making use of some of the relationships we'd made with the pub, I was off down to Kent, Ramsgate, working and living with Eddie Gadd of Gadd's Brewery, digging out mash tuns, washing casks, cleaning FEs, and eventually let me do one or two things more interesting, and even let me write my own recipe, which he regrets to this day. From here, I went to Darkstar, and Mark Tranter and Jen Merrick were still ruling the roost, and obviously both got on to other things. Went up to Red Willow, got creative with Toby there, and even went to Thwaites and Blackburn, because everyone knows that all the brewing science is harboured in these big old breweries. Around about the time I came back north, we met Chris here in the front row. Hi Chris.
Hi.
Wave.
Hi.
So Chris suggested we do a little bit of home brewing. Here you go. That's Chris's mum's cool box. I intercepted a tea urn from my parents, which they were putting in a skip, and we set to work. And I say we, to this day my DIY skills barely cover IKEA furniture, but luckily Chris had that skill set covered, and within a couple of weeks we had a nice copper manifold, a very, very wonky immersion chiller, hop seed filter. Hand bent, yeah. Oh god, that was silly. Oh god, I forgot. I'd wiped that from my memory. Jesus, that was a nightmare. And me being a pro brewer of at least 3 months by this point, I brought a bit of common sense to the table and said, we should just start with 4 or 5 single hop pale ales, that's consistent grist, learn our efficiencies, learn the kit, let's get a hang of this thing first. Our second brew was a pumpkin ale with pumpkin in the mash. And our third was a raspberry oat milk stout, which we split between cowboys, conditioned half of it on unpasteurised raspberries, and can you say you still got a bottle of that somewhere?
I think I got 2.
Yeah, nice. So it hasn't blown up yet. So that can't be too bad. So we missed our targets by miles, but we thought it tasted okay. So I ended up back running the pub. It was a bit of a short-term cover arrangement, which went on well over a year. And we filled our time blasting out a bit of propeller heads, and just brewed up a bit of everything and spending far too much money at Malt Miller. We had our signature brew was the Emergency IPA, and we brewed this every time that Chris's fridge and freezer got so full of part bags of hops he couldn't afford to eat anymore. So we just filled the mash tun, brewed the biggest IPA we could, and just lobbed all these part bags of hops in. And I'm pretty sure it tasted like cheese and crystal malt, but we thought it was pretty good. There's Chris in the corner there. That's the awesome. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, we had fun. I brewed a few commercial beers for the Grove under the banner Bitches Brew, because I had early on been interested in the brew bitch, so I just went around digging up mash tuns, but we didn't want to get sued by the Scottish punks. So Bitches Brew did a bit of brewing, but it became very secondary to running the pub. I was pretty frustrated, and when I saw Northern Monk advertising for a brewer, I built up the courage, got very, very drunk on Weird Beard Holding Hop in Hell at Leeds International, and went to apply for a job. And here we are. But the experiments didn't end there. Obviously, we took on the flat store behind you here. It was in pretty poor state. It had been sort of a training centre, sort of key skills centre for a long time, but it had been empty for about 3 years, totally neglected. So we stripped it out, sandblasted a lot, back to its former glory. And again, we had contractors doing most of that work. So my time was spent writing recipes, ordering equipment, and generally realising I did not have a clue about how to actually run a brewery. So to distract myself, I persuaded Ross to let me spend even more money on malt miller. And yeah, we set about trying out a few of those recipes. So yeah, moving into his kitchen. This is my mate Harry. He doesn't know he's here. I think it's about the only time he's ever brewed, and he's never done it again. So I had a great influence on him. So when we launched Northern Monk properly in August 14, we had 4 beers. We had Trudolf, which was like 3.7 cask bitter. We had Monk's Pale, 4.5% pale, Chennai Porter, and New Old IPA, which of course we still have today. And Obar, the Monaco's Pale, which we sort of cuckoo brewed for a bit. All those other recipes I developed on the homebrew kit in that kitchen, just fine-tuning ideas. And even our first double IPA, 822, was brewed in the kitchen first, and probably owed a bit to the emergency IPA as well from back in the day. So there you go. So yeah, 5 years down the line. So Northern Monk, as you see it now, we've got a 10-barrel kit. We've got 60 hectolitre double brew length kit just down the road as well. We've got a team of around 60 people, which seems to increase literally every 5 minutes. And of course, amongst those guys, we've got a great little small brew team, and unsurprisingly, there's quite a few homebrewers amongst them. So, not looking for content or anything, I decided to corner them in the office and ask them a few questions. So, meet Jack. He's one of our production brewers of 2 years and counting. He's the most active homebrewer amongst us and a regular bearer of barley wines, triple IPAs, and other daft creations to the staff room. As it says here, I've been homebrewing 4 years. Started on a very basic 25-litre kit, mash tun, made out of cold box, basic Pinnacle boiler, plastic bucket fermenters, and I built it up from there. My favourite thing I've ever brewed was a whiskey barrel-aged Belgian-style quad, so he was never ever lacking ambition on that front. Next up we have Tom. Tom, you might know him from the Beanomicon podcast. He was at Weird Beard in Manchester for a year or so as the brewer, and then last year he came and joined us. And you see here, homebrewed for 2 years. Started on T-Urn, brewing a bag, electric HOT, Igloo cool box, and steel kettle, then up to Greenfather, and then on to an Essex Brew Tech. So he's just got too much money, I think. Just keep changing all that up. Developed a West Coast IPA, he was really happy with, but he won most of his awards for stouts. And he most regularly brews a raspberry wheat ale because his mate's got a farm with a massive excess of fruit. And this is his brother Max. Max started with us a year ago at Manchester Refectory and then joined the packaging team a few months ago. And there's clearly no brotherly rivalry here at all. I brewed on my Essex Brew Tech kit. It's not Tom, it's mine. For 2 years. I've only actually done one recipe on my own, which went wrong. But I've got a saison recipe ready to go, which I'm really excited about. And it turns out what he did, he made a raspberry saison, but just lobbed all these wild raspberries in the fermenter and wondered why weird stuff started going on top. So he's learning. He's a good kid. We love him. I told him I was going to public embarrass him, and I'm surprised he's not here, like, defending himself. And then Ads. So Ads pretty much started the homebrew club at Brew Con Leeds, I think, a few years ago. He was my first ever assistant brewer down here at the Flat Store, and now he's our brewery manager over at Sydenham. So very much been with us from a very, very long time. He has a 23-litre plastic fermenter, 30-litre boiler, and a basic cool box mash tun thinly deep. I did a reason why I'm real IPA, around 5%, but I have no idea where my little notebook is, so I can't even tell you the recipe. So he hasn't, we don't have time to brew much these days. And even Russell, our MD, before Northern Monk was a thing, he dabbled a little bit in homebrewing. Not long after I met him, he gave me a bottle of one of his homebrews. He was attempting a Gumball Head clone by Free Floyd, given to me with the warning, keep it cold, it's a little bit excitable. After 1 hour in the freezer, it's still, the bottle cap still hit the ceiling. So there's a reason he doesn't really get too involved with the brewing. So clearly, we are a team full of homebrewers. that's it for slides as well. That's I'm just filling there. So clearly we're a team full of homebrewers, but I'm not saying bin your CV, you're going to get a brewer's job at Northern Monk just by showing up with some bottles and telling me about your kit. But likewise, in this industry, you get loads of applicants, Harriet World graduates and so on, they're a walking, talking encyclopedia, but put them on a brew kit, ask them to make you something, they would not have a clue. So I'm far more likely to hire someone with a bit of a homebrew background than someone who's got a brew study background. We've learned to focus very much on personality, work ethic, and how they fit into the team when hiring, sort of focusing on entry, mid-level positions. And once you've got the right person, you can train them pretty much to do anything. And I say with likes of ads and others, there's 7 senior people in this company now who started basically at a lower role and have worked their way up. So it's really worked out for us. But I'm pretty confident a homebrewer is going to know the basics. They're going to know a mash tun from a kettle, they're going to know the gypsum from the calcium chloride, they're going to know the citra from the fuggles. They'll be able to explain why you want a high mash temperature rather than a low. They know the difference between a 90-minute hop edition and a whirlpool. They're going to understand that brewing's pretty dirty, you're going to get the odd scold. And they're also going to know that cleanliness is like godliness. So, I'm hoping they've got a bit of diligence, they've done a bit of note-taking, they at least learned to, know when the boil started and things like that. So, and those are just life skills, which I think, whether you're a pro brewer or home brewer, those are the kind of life skills that, whether you know or not, are actually going to help you in all areas. So the regular question whenever I talk to people is, why do you love brewing? And what attracted you to it? So in my opinion, craft brewing, or at least, whatever you want to call it, it's one of those rare industries or hobbies that you can come at from either angle. If you're a scientist or an artist, you can approach it from both ends. Case in point, music degree. And as an aside, there's 3 other people who are on my course at uni who are now brewers. Then everyone know Tom at Liquid Light down in Nottingham. Yeah, so I was at uni with Tom. And there's a guy who formerly at Red Church, I don't know if he still is, but yeah, I keep popping into brewers that I was like, I recognise you from somewhere. And they're all music students, music tech students at uni Huddersfield, so there you go. But obviously, you can't ascend to like a master brewer level just with a creative mindset and a feel for flavours. I definitely came into this with a misjudged confidence based on a year or so of brew bitching and a very steep learning curve followed. When they say it's 90% cleaning and like 10% brewing, they're forgetting the 50% admin on top of that as well. So, Andy's just nodding over there. So, but you guys are pretty blessed on the homebrew level. Even at entry level, with all the information that's available and some good kit around, you can brew a decent beer with a pot, a plastic bucket, some bit of creativity, and of course, a lot of cleanliness. If you're so inclined, you've got the information and tools there to build your own bespoke kit, build in your research, some automation, get some nice fermentation fridges. If you want to make that investment, you've got kit from the likes of Greenfather and Essence Brewtech, and they're going to give you pro-level control, if not higher, with premium hygienic stainless steel. And I'm not looking specifically at Andy here, but I'm sure there's microbrewers in here are very envious of a lot of you guys' setups. You have a ridiculous supply options. You've got access to an incredible array of hops, malt, other ingredients, hop varieties that we still struggle to get. I haven't got any Galaxy, but I know. I hear Robert Moormiller's got a wait list going, so I'm going to have to probably join it. You've got access to innovations like BBC pellets. Hop suppliers that put 1 kilo bags together to meet the demand from small scale pros and from homebrewers. And last time I had a look on Moormiller, there was probably enough yeast to do a brew a day, for a year and probably then some. Northern Monk's benefited from people like Moormiller. Remember the Smoking Bees Imperial Stout a couple of years ago? We had to call up with the Gates of Green, we had this idea to do a sort of whiskey smoked honey porter. And I'd heard that Moormiller did its own smoking, so I got in touch with Rob and I'm like, I have to sort of something Scottish malt whiskey kind of thing. And he's just like, I've got some Highland whiskey chips. I was like, how much do you need? I'm like, about 50 kilos of grain? He's like, no worries, smokes 50 kilos of grain. And now it's the distinct smoky flavour in that beer. So we rebrewed that about 6 months ago and barrel aged it. So again, back on the phone to Rob and Martin to work it out. Of course, you've got the internet as well, a wealth of information. And again, even for pro brewers, there's, you hear about a hop you never heard of from an American brewer, or you have a random store fermentation you can't understand, unexpected clarity in your IPAs. So many of those. And you go to Mr. Google, and you can guarantee on that list of results there's going to be a ton of homebrew forums. Unlike going on Wikipedia, you take a lot of it with a pinch of salt. But through all these multiple sources, you start to work out what's going on. Even if it's just directors to which science journal we need to be studying, there's another pro brewer being helped by the homebrew forums. And the beauty is, at your level, anything goes. I know it sucks if you brew 20 litres or something and it sucks. I mean, yeah, you probably put a dent in your beer money for a week or two, but if we mess up 12,000 litres, that's not just our reputation. That's that's a financial impact, and somebody's job could be at risk if that happens too often. So I mean, it doesn't stop us rolling out multiple new beers a month, and everything comes with it. But that's 5 years of experience, making use of the knowledge out there. A bit of a nicer flavour and probably a hell of a lot of luck as well. So, but new styles, techniques, and combinations are tried out on a homebrew level around the world before pro brewers get involved. Sometimes before they even think of it. You can dose and pitch at levels which just aren't financially viable to guys like us. There's genuine research value for ingredient suppliers to go to the effort to package these yeast in small vials and to do these 1 kilo bags. There's a homebrew community. There's a vast pool of feedback waiting to happen. Case in point, I know for a fact when Lanamon were working on their New England strain a year or two ago, and they were giving out samples to small brewers and home brewers all over the place, and just because to raise awareness, but to get the feedback. And as I said, I chatted with Rob earlier, and he got so much feedback on that yeast strain from just handing it out at homebrew conventions and just making it available to people. And if you speak to any other food manufacturer and various food, they are blown away by the openness and the collaboration in brewing, that we share everything. Recipes are still closely guarded secrets everywhere else, but brewers discuss everything. There's barely a secret, and if there is, it's simply unspoken common knowledge most of the time. I regularly get emails from homebrewers, emailing us saying they tried one of my beers, asking for tips on how to work with that fruit, how to achieve that flavour, and so on. And I never hesitate to share anything relevant. I usually send them the whole recipe. Because firstly, you can give the same recipe to 100 people and you'll get 100 different beers. Secondly, beer is fun, it's a hobby, it's educational, and people are eager to explore it. And without brewers giving us the time of day in the early days, for me to travel around, when we were setting up, we were doing collaborations with local brewers, and ever since, Northern Monk's been so based on just collaborating. Now, if people weren't able to share that knowledge, we would not be where we are now. Our beers wouldn't be what they are. I take every opportunity to share that knowledge, because the person that ever in that email may well have a bright new career in brewing, and if not, there's a good chance this next 3 days has just got a lot more interesting, because a whole new homebrew project's just sprung into view. And this goes down to the grassroots level and this community of creatives that are here today. Given the craft brewing industry has homebrewers running through its vein, it's no surprise that its community spirit continues. So this can take so much credit for the vibrant, experimental, world-leading brew scene that the UK has now. And that you've got events like today springing up just extends this. It's encouraging that sharing of knowledge in both directions, because you guys get access to the knowledge of so many suppliers and professionals, and we're mixing with mixing with enthusiasm on this kind of getting out of the day job and remembering why you get involved in the first place. So we finally set up a homebrew club, which I think we've talked about for a long time. So I know we invited competition entries to be dropped off this weekend as well. Looking forward to trying those, because I'm expecting ridiculously high standards, and our plan is to upscale these beers and do an entire patron series of homebrewed recipes. And I look forward to sharing that knowledge with sharing what we do on a daily basis, working on upscaling the recipes, and doing what we can just to make it more fun for you guys. I think I'm gonna call it a day around there, take some questions, but again, thank you to Simon, Sam, and the team for putting this together. And as I say, basically, brewing is brilliant. Doesn't matter if you're brewing the bag on a hob, on a little Essex Brew Tech, or whether you've taken a chance to quit your day job and set up a little more microbrewery. Brewing's ace, and it's all about for vibrant grassroots scenes like this. So keep it up, and let's drink beer. Absolutely.
Okay, does anyone have any questions?
How often, I take it you have a pilot kit, and how often do you use it? You don't have a pilot kit, so you're just like, right, we're making...
We used to have a 1 barrel kit up until about 6 months ago, which I can't think of anything that came off it and got upscaled. Maybe a few ideas here and there, but it was quite useful for doing tap takeovers and so on. You could invite the staff from the bar to make 100 litres or something, and they had a bespoke beer on for the event. So, and obviously, again, just gave them a day of brewing, which is cool. So, but no, it's straight into the deep end. Which is great.
Sorry, what batch size are the patrons projects of? Because I think that's it's such a great example of kind of the whole brew element. It's so experimental. It's amazing.
Yeah, those things been does for us. It must be at least pretty more 3 years ago since we started down here. The Tom Joyce series we did at the start. And again, I think we were just down here doing 15 hectoliters. But these days, if we're doing an IPA, it's 120 hectoliters. Yeah. So we got 60 hectolitre brew length around the corner, and yeah, most of our FBs are double size. So just to get demand, it's double brews, and I get pushed occasionally to do like 180 hex, but I think try to get the balance right. No, I mean we do so many each month as well. It's easy for it to get a little bit. You loses its sheen a little bit, and obviously you don't want IPs saturating the market. But yeah, no, it's ridiculous, scary volumes of hops and scary volumes of fruit purees and so on these days. I think most of it done about 1.2 tons of fruit. It was ridiculous. So.
You said you cocoa brewed for a while. How long was it before you transitioned to?
It was so it was the spring of 2013. There was actually a guy called David who was a predecessor to me. He was came from the homebrewing background. Absolutely nailed it. So him and Russell were brewing up at Hamilton's in Ripon for I think about 9 months or so, but it's pretty sporadic. I think maybe 8 or 9 brews over the course of that period. New Old IPA, Stranic. I mean, we showed up at a very traditional brewery that with open FVs that specialised in 4% cask beers with a 6.2% IPA and 9% Imperial Stout recipe, asking for Citra, and they didn't have a clue. So,
But how did you find the transition?
tough. We were lucky. We got an investor, another chap called David, who's still a majority shareholder now. And he sold his business and manufacture, and he was looking for small projects to get involved with, and he was a friend of Russell's. So we're lucky that we had 100 grand to get going, and we were lucky that we were really keen to find a building that had some character and reflected the brand that Russell put together. So we were really lucky when this place appeared, and that David was lucky to put the money in. But as they were, we're lucky that we did a lot of collaborations because we had 9 months of basically no beer and no money because in fact, whatever you think it's going to cost, triple it. So yeah, we would say we did beers like Saltaire, we did Atom, Blackjack, all these guys going to take us in. So that helped. But yeah, the actual transition, as I said before, pretty scary. I think definitely a false confidence from having made all those beers and know my way around an IPA, but then just working out batch lengths and managing efficiencies and just so much cleaning. So I think, and we had that kind of false. We started at 10 bar kit, but our brand was so strong. Russell done such a good job on that side that even though we hardly brewed anything for a year and a half, people thought we were so much bigger than we are. So I remember that first launch event, and my dad actually used to work at Heineken, so I had access to the lab up there. So we sent the samples off, and about an hour before the North Bar Tap takeover started, the acetone results came in, and it was like 360 parts per million on the acetal. I was like, oh. I didn't want to go in, I was terrified. So our beer for the first year was rough, I think. And it's such a steep learning curve. So, but again, I think it was like, I like to think there's so much knowledge around now that I think it'd be a bit smoother next time.
Thank you.
But maybe that's just a false confidence too. I don't know. I don't want to try it again. It was pretty stressful. But hello, Andy. Oh, this guy's good.
As you get bigger, how do you stay in?
I think I always thought that was pretty easy, but I'm noticing it a little bit more now that it's certainly getting harder. I think just the level of planning involved, like those patrons labels are like 2-3 week turnaround in printers. So we need those labels going to print before we actually make the beer, which takes a lot of organisation, a lot of forward planning because not that many other brewers have that forward planning. So you try to put together a collaboration, and everyone's just very chill on the email thread, and you're like, I need to know like today what we're going to make. So. But we've always been determined that to work with channels that we will forever be innovative, do creative. We'll always do small batch specials, and we're going to grow. We're going to grow our Prince and Morrisons. We're in Waitrose. We're going to work that more mainstream side as well, and that full range of styles. We're finally hopefully going to do like a core lager, and we've got things like a Turno and New Old and much sort of probably called West Coast traditional, but you know what I mean, a much more approachable traditional style of beer over there. But we've committed to 3 patrons a month, and we're never short of ideas. It's not like we're hunting. We're not sat there just, God, another new recipe. I'm not gonna lie either. There's that element of like you make an IPA. It's not quite just change the hop and go again. But you know what works. There's that element of it too. But it makes when you do get something new to do. Like we did that grape soda IPA last month, which was putting that together was a great fun because it was just like something new. So it's 5-6 years of doing this and still finding things that haven't been done before, still finding things that are interesting, and and I'm still learning, like especially on the fruit salads and stuff like that. We're still massively learning and trying to fine tune that. So, and IP is always better. So we're never short of ideas. Hello, Andy.
Give us an idea of the scale between 20 litres and 120 hectolitres. So what's the raw weight grade and the size of the dry hop that like
So, let's keep it tick heathen, which is like core range, still relatively sensible. So that's 1,800 kilos of grain per 60 hectolitre. That's, I've got to do the math. It's about 11 grams per litre on a dry hop, which still works out as about 100 kilos per 60 hect batch. So, something like Infinity Vortex is about 360 kilos of hops. So if you go up to if you're going into those high 20 grams per litres, you're pushing 400 kilos of hops. Our hop store is terrifying. My hop contract is terrifying. We're ordering more hops a month than we had in our entire first year contract in 2015. Like, I think I had a contract for about 700 kilos with Charles Farrer, and we take about 2 tons of hops a month, if not more sometimes. So I need 9 tons of citrus next year. That's what I'm working on. So substantial.
It was just more of a kind of question about you're obviously, it's a local brewery and you've got to take local inspiration, these kinds of things. But moreover, there's a lot of breweries that it's a very kind of environmental, it can impact the environment quite a lot for grain. Well, what do you do with spent grains? Do they go off-site? Do they get used for something else? Do you have water reclamation, these kinds of things? Just an interesting.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, it's something we've become more conscious of as we've grown. I think like most breweries, we've got farmers that collect our grain. So we've got a guy down here who brings down some plastic tubs, and at the other side we've got a 18-ton trailer which we load into, and he collects it every few days. So it's going back in there, but our water usage is the same. The building we're in has asbestos in the back wall. So when we were designing the kettle, we couldn't put a chimney through, so it runs on a condenser. And to this day, we're still just pissing water on the floor when we run that condenser. But we've got plans in place. We're going to collect that condensate into a holding tank and use it to feed our steam boiler. So we've got plans to recycle there. And one of our farmers is starting to take hops and yeast of us too. So we're trying to reduce how much of that just goes down the drain, because one day we'll get into trouble with nothing else. But yeah, I mean, they're tricky as well. Hops, you can't really use them to feed, but they're decent fertilizer. But again, when you're using 300-400 tons a day, somebody needs a hell of a lot of fertilizer, I guess. So we're trying to improve on that side too. We're getting a centrifuge soon as well, which should really help us actually collect that rather than just you end up getting about a third hops and 2/3 spent there in an IBC, and it's not very efficient. So it's something we're conscious of. Just trying to improve, but yeah, I think it's going to become more and more of a thing over the next year as well. I think you have to notice your utility usage. So yeah, we're trying to improve, but yeah, it's again, it's something that we're in a position now we can afford to put a lot of stuff in place too, which maybe in the early days you're getting by. It's just another thing which can wait, but we're getting there. Anyone over here?
Last one, maybe? Anyone?
Nope,
that's it.
Thanks. Cheers, guys.